Here's a recycling bin magic mask, some styrofoam and some cardboard that was from some kind of appliance that held it in place. So I paper mache'd it together and put paper towel over the top where it overlapped. And on the top of it, I even put a piece of cardboard where their seams were, just to make it a little bit stronger, the chipboard, and then paper mache'd over top of that. There's some hot glue in there to hold it together, some styrofoam to shape out the throat, and a lot of aluminum foil pressed up inside of it and then hot glued in. There's some electrical wire right there for the nostrils, and a little bit of PEX pipe that I cut in half, that plastic. It goes pretty deep in there, actually. You could see way down in there, probably pretty good, enough room for a finger or two. But anyhow, it looked like a mask, and I wanted to form it out. I found another pair of those bear jaws. I guess I bought more than 2 of them when I went through my junk drawer of art supplies. And you can wear it as a mask. It's light, and it's what I like about paper mache versus plaster. I found this beadwork at a sort of garage sale, and the lady was disappointed not to make art out of it, but she thought it should be on a black fancy shirt. So these perler beads kids are really into, so I think I'm gonna try to put some perler beads on the side, and we'll find out how that goes. I tried to experiment to make some eyeballs, and that was a colossal failure. I used a little bit too much oil, and then I ran out of time to be able to make them work. So I went in my junk drawer and found some giant eyeballs that I think will work nicely, but I was a little disappointed that I couldn't get these to work out. That's how art making goes. Sometimes you gotta switch gears. A lot of experimentation. So there's a nice hanger in the back so you can hang on the wall. There's a close-up of it. And it doesn't look strong, but it's rather strong once it's all paper mache together. So I put a piece of paper over it, and I just rub a pencil on the side of it to indent the edge of where the sculpture is, so that I can get a rough idea of where I wanna, make my perler beads. And as this moves along, you can just sort of rough down. You can see a little bit of the pencil transferring. And then I'm going to take my Sharpie and Sharpie right over top of it. Let's fast forward this a bit because that's getting a little slow. You get the idea. I'm going to trace it, and that is going to be my template for making what to me looks like a fox face. So I drew some eyeballs and a little nose on there. So then I started figuring out patterns for the perler beads, and this ironically turned out to be a colossal time sink. It was like 4+ hours of putting those beads together in the shapes that I wanted them to be. And then once I ironed them out, I actually had a real mishap. I ironed half of it and then took my iron off, and it curled up, and so I had to break it all apart to put it back together. So don't do that. Set up correctly and start ironing, and don't stop. There's the mask finished, and I painted the base black real quickly. And it's sometimes simple is better. So if you paint your bases a dark color, whatever the dark color you're choosing is, then you can add things on top of it, and it kind of ties it all together. And black is a nice neutral color, so whatever I put on there should look half decent. So there is the eyeballs I found when I hot glued them on there. Some quick paint job on the teeth. I found some old shaggy sheepskin that I cut up and put on there. And then I experimented with how I wanted it to look with those beads that I found. And also, I'm really not finished with this, to be quite honest. There's going to be a lot of additional accoutrements and add-ons that take place. But for right now, I think this is a half decent example of what you can do with garbage and alternative paintings. That's kind of what this assignment is about, is alternatives, like found objects, putting things on there, whatever you can come up with. I mean, it's really a matter of start collecting random things you think are interesting or beautiful and keep them around. And so you can see with those beads, I put them in different places. I kind of like it up there, to be quite honest. I think that's a more appropriate spot for it. I hope you enjoyed watching, maybe even got inspired to make some art of your own. Have a great day.